Hello everyone. Good evening to all. So on stage is me, Arunesh, and my friend Ankur, and
Hello
we
everyone.
are the heads of Spider for the academic year 2022-23. And we would like to thank everyone for their interest and enthusiasm that you guys have shown in being present here today. So let's start without further ado. So we'll start by looking at what Spider exactly is. So we are the official research and development or also the official technology and innovation club of IIT Trichy. So what that means is that we work with the most cutting edge technology and across all the emerging fields that there is. So this ranges all the way from all the software domains such as web dev, app dev, algos to all the hardware domains such as machine learning, IoT, embedded systems, robotics, etc. And what makes Spider unique is the fact that our projects are integrating almost all of the latest technology and emerging fields. So, for example, we are the only club on campus that can make a project that integrates, say, IoT with blockchain or machine learning with virtual reality. And we can proudly say that we are the only club on campus who are capable of making such kind of projects due to our ambition to be an innovative club. And we are also one of the most oldest technical clubs on campus, approaching nearly 20 odd years. And that shows a legacy of success that we have at this club. In addition to this, we also partner with outside organizations for projects. For example, Spider can proudly say that we are working on a project with the Trichy Police in order to service the community of the city that we live in. And moving on, we also have one of the largest clubs, one of the largest labs given for a club on campus. We also have our own servers for the benefit of our people. In addition to this, we also participate in several national level and global technical competitions and conferences, focusing on both product development and research projects. And to speak about the achievements that we have in these competitions, just in the last calendar year alone, which is say 2021 up to today, our achievements run in double digits, both at the national and international level. That speaks a lot about the kind of successful club that Spider is. So moving on, I would like to conclude by saying that we have two main domains, Spider software and Spider hardware. Now I will pass on to my friend Ankur, who will start explaining about Spider software.
Thank you, Arunesh. So let's move on to the next slide. So let's dive deeper into the Spider software domain. So software is like an entropy. It's difficult to grasp, weighs nothing, and obeys the second law of thermodynamics. That is, it always increases. Being a software engineer, you get to work on a lot of legacy projects. You get exposed to works of your coworkers, your seniors, and at the end, you contribute a part of it. And hence, software, similar to entropy, grows. This might not seem something that's intuitive to you now, but once you start working on big software projects, which you will do once you get inducted to the club, this will make more sense to you. Moving ahead, so Spider software has five induction streams. Those are app dev, web dev, algorithms, dev operations, and UI UX. Apart from these, we also work on technologies such as blockchain, quantum computing, and cybersecurities. We also actively participate with startups, and which acts as both our intern opportunity, and it also gives us exposure to work with top developers around the world. Moving ahead, I would like to call Vasu, who will let you guys go ahead with the app dev.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. My name is Vasu Gambhir. I'm a third year CA student and I'm from the application development domain. So, I'm here to talk about application development in Spider. So, the primary aim of Spider is to build Spider App Dev is to build efficient applications that can work for a large scale of users. Next slide. So what do we do? So we basically build applications for both iOS and Android operating systems with the help of cross-platform frameworks like React Native and Flutter. So why we use React Native and Flutter is because React Native is very well known. Apart from that, mobile applications like Instagram, Skype, Walmart, Airbnb as well they use React Native. I mean, they are made using React Native. And since React Native uses React JS, it helps web developers to also like easily develop React Native apps and vice versa. So if you know React Native, you can get to learn React JS and the MERN web stack pretty fast. Apart from that, we use Flutter. I mean, we make apps in Flutter as well. So apps like Google Pay, Dream11, and eBay, they're all made using Flutter, and they're easy to learn, and it's even more easier to design like a good complex UI and make complex animations in Flutter. So yeah, we're also trying to make applications in the Xamarin framework as well. So apart from that, we used to use Android native, but since a good number of college students are now using, I mean, now have iPhones, we are shifting towards cross-platform mobile application development. So yeah, we work on admin projects, which we'll discuss more on later, and club projects as well. So club projects are basically based on the interest on some topics, and they usually lie in the fields of machine learning and cryptography. I mean, they're basically like trending fields in computer science. And we also participate in different hackathons and also contribute to many open source projects. So yeah, this is regarding application development domain in Spider. I'd like to call upon Rishabh to talk about the web dev domain.
So hello guys, I'm Rishabh. I'm from third year IC department and I work as a web developer at Spider. So basically, in our web dev domain, we create user interactive and large scale web applications for a lot of different users. So coming to our next slide. So so we generally work on a lot of full stack application as well as a few of the backend APIs. And here, m- so most of our projects are divided into like the admin projects and the club projects. So the admin projects are the ones which we do for a college admin, including a document portal, a mess portal, etc. And the club projects include a lot of our experimentation with different exciting new technologies, which we do as per our interest. And we work on a lot of different tech stacks. So our tech stacks range from like Node, React, Django, Flask, PHP Laravel, Python, Golang, etc. So basically, for so all of so all of frameworks and tech stack are based on the demands of a project. For example, React is currently being used a lot across a lot of different websites and applications for the front end development. It's an open source project made made by Facebook. So for example, for the backend part, Node and Django are quite extensively used across the industries. And apart from these, we also contribute to a lot of open source organizations. For example, GraphQL, uh, the Processing Foundation, Telegram, Tooljet, Hopscotch, etc. And we also participate in a lot of hackathons, such as the SIH hackathon, uh, and we also have the Innout hackathon, etc. We we generally we try to build and work upon a lot of new exciting technologies like blockchain, Web3, etc. And and we like integrate them with our web dev uh, projects. We as a team also publish articles which are also known by the name of Web Wednesdays, and we also have a regular series of knowledge sharing sessions in which any particular member of our club comes up a- and discuss about the latest technology or subject on which he or she is more proficient upon. So now I'd like to call upon Selva, who, who will talk about a DevOps domain.
Yeah, good evening. So this is Selva from third year CSC from DevOps domain. So DevOps is basically a set of practices and tools which ensure delivering the applications to end users. So on to next slide, please. So yeah, basically what do we do at DevOps is that we manage servers and production environments. Like servers, we manage on-premise servers and cloud servers as well. Cloud servers include AWS and DigitalOceans. So apart from the servers, we also manage some other cloud services which are specialized and offered by AWS, like SAS and some other specialized services as well. And we are responsible for releasing and deployment of all the applications which Rishabh and Vasu had spoken about earlier. And once it is released, we are also responsible for monitoring them and testing them throughout. And whenever an error or an issue occurs in the scene, we are the first ones to be there and check out on what's happening, and we are responsible for fixing the stuffs. And we are also responsible for smooth running of all the applications. And whenever an application is nearing the development, end of development stage, we are responsible for integrating the CI/CD pipeline and moving them to production environment. And we also use various scripting tools such as Bash and Python for automation. And we also work with various web servers like Apache and Nginx. So these are all the various tools that are required for industry standards. And apart from the production environments, we also are actively involved in participating in CTF, so that we get to explore a lot in cybersecurity. Because in order to ensure smooth running of an application, we also need to ensure that the application is secure. So yeah, uh, we get to work with cybersecurity as well. So yeah, can move on to the next slide.
Yeah. So hello everyone. This is Saubhagya. I'm CSC third year undergrad. I'm currently part of Spider algorithms subdomain basically. So yeah, like as algorithm, what we mean by algorithms is we try to write the codes. We try to write the solutions that are for problems. We like it's basically kind of problem solving stuffs. So can you move on to the next slide, please? So yeah, here it's discussed like what do we basically do in Spider algos and what are our aims, what are our mottos, and what's the basically work of algos. So yeah, for algos we are being passionate about competitive programming. We enjoy like solving the problems across like that are related to competitive programming. We solve a lot of problems. We like to play with data structures and algorithms. It's kind of like we enjoy that stuffs, right? We participate in a wide range of programming contests such as ICPC, Google Code Jam, Google Kickstart, Google Hashcode, Facebook Hacker Cup, and the list is like very long. There are a lot of programming contests organized by each and every tech giant, or like there are a lot of stuff for that company. So yeah, we use a lot that we used to participate in a lot of programming contests. We generally used to solve problem. We generally used to participate in the contest on the websites like Code Forces, CodeChef, AdCoder. You can go and check these websites. So these are like Code Forces, CodeChef, and AdCoder are the global websites that are used by the programming like basically the competitive programmers or the coders across the globe. Creating the contest, we work the problem statements, and we invite the participants across globe to take part in our contest. We regularly organize intra knowledge sessions like what we do is generally one who is to one topic, he basically share his knowledge. So we generally organize this kind of internal sharing sessions, and virtual contest is a basically key for a wider range of contests. So let's say we are planning for to ICPC, then we need to solve a lot of virtual. So yeah, we are also what's our aim and our motto is to our goal is to develop a healthy and strong competitive programming culture in the campus. So yeah, as like in other IITs or other big colleges, we all like we have a good competitive programming culture in college, but yeah, we want to take it to further. Yeah, moving on to head over to Rishabh for the next slide. Yeah, thanks.
So now coming to one of a very interesting domain in Hagina Club is a UI UX domain. So basically, now coming to the next slide. So so we at the UI UX domain, we design all the user interfaces and all the designs for all our different Spider software. We we decide on the different designs, the layouts, the graphics, color schemes, etc. For all of our different software, be it be it a web application or an Android like app. And we also actively participate in the development process. So we generally work upon the front end part of our applications and our websites. And apart from that, so all the promos and the posters that you come across on our social media handles are also created by us. So yeah, that's it.
So moving ahead, I'm sure by now you guys would have a great understanding of how Spider software works internally. Let's now look into the projects that Spider software has undertaken till now. I request Vasu to please carry us forward.
Yeah, hello everybody. So yeah, so speaking of a project, so we have the Links app. So yeah, this is the other projects by the way. So yeah, the Links app is basically the official communication app of NITT or also the Instagram of NITT. So here there'll be club accounts and there'll be student accounts. So students can follow different clubs and the clubs can keep them posted regarding the latest events and any latest developments made by the club. So and it also helps the admin pass circulars to the students in a very quick manner because emails they're a bit hard. Like sometimes you don't get notified about some emails. So this helps in that case. And yeah, so it basically bridges the gap between the students and the clubs and the admin. So that's what the Links app does. Apart from that, we have the orientation app. This is the app made for freshers. So it helps the orientation team communicate with the freshers during the orientation program. And yeah, like regarding any latest information or any latest events happening during orientation, the freshers can know. And yeah, that's regarding that. So it helps freshers know more about the college. And apart from that, we have the Sports Suite app. It's the app made for Sports Suite officially. So what it does is it keeps the students up to date regarding all of the scores in different sport events happening, and they can also know about the leaderboard information about who's on top and who's winning and by how many points, etc. And we have the security app. This is still under development, but it's like MyGate app. It just authorizes any visitors like coming into the campus. Yeah, so this is regarding the projects in the app dev domain. I'd like to call upon Rishabh Taparia from to talk about the web dev domain projects.
So basically, we worked upon a lot of projects like last year. We have listed a few of them. So one of them is a document requisition portal. So basically, during the COVID time, all of our students like weren't available to like go to the campus in person and collect our different documents such as bona fide certificate or the or the transcript. So we created a website in which the users or the students in this case can request for different academic documents from the respective facility from the from the request from the concerned faculties, and the faculties have an option to like reject or approve the request of the student based on the details. Then we have a website for the Office of International Relationships Club. So this was a portal in which all all the research projects which are being like conducted in a college, so they will be like listed out on this website, and students from our college and other college can apply through them. Then we have our inventory project. So this was basically a website to like manage uh, to like manage a- and use all the different items in the inventory of different clubs. So the items can be like a GPU server, or let's say a computing system, etc. And they can be like lent to the other club members, and and the admin will basically like have a data of that. And the Happy End project was a website which we made for a startup in which we created a treasure hunt game basically in the city of Pune. And this had a lot of like different features, including like the live location, card systems, like sharing, etc., etc. So yeah, this is for the project side.
Yeah, so I'd like to talk about the achievements now. Next slide. So yeah, regarding the achievements on the software domain, so we've had three club teams qualified in the ACM ICPC regionals in 2021. We've also had global rank holders of 37, 86, and 125 positions in the different Google Kickstart rounds. And also we secured eighth position in India and 97th globally in the Google hash code in the year of 2021. And we this year we have two teams selected for the SIH Hackathon finals. We've also won the Smart India Hackathon in 2020. Apart from that, we've also have like we also won the Etherpunk 21 blockchain hackathon, and we also won the MIT Bitcoin Expo hackathon. And apart from that, we also in on the year of 2020 ACMICPC hackathon, one team qualified for the Amritapuri and Pune Gwalior regionals, top 15 India, and another team qualified for the Kanpur regions. That's it regarding the achievements of software domain. Yeah, let me call upon Ankur now.
Moving ahead, being a part of Spider Software gives you a lot of exposure to modern technologies and some unparalleled experiences, both of which are highly desired by some of the top MNCs of the world. Spider has a long list of developers who are currently working on these and many such MNCs. The Spider Alumni Network allows us to frequently interact with the developers who share their experiences and views. They share what the companies are currently working on and what they expect from their developers, both of which are highly valuable for any individual, especially when they are getting started with their software career. Now, moving ahead, we have requested, uh, I think we can go to the next slide. So, we have requested some of the top skill developers to share their experiences and their journey in Spider. I will request Rishabh to take over from here.
So I would like to call upon Anjane Tripathi, who is from CSC Batch 22, and is also like one of our alumni of our club. He's currently an SD developer at Oracle. So yeah.
Okay, hello everyone. So it's nice to see all of you here for this thing. And I've been asked to speak about my experience at Spider. And I'll have to say, it's honestly been one of the best experiences I've had in college because so what happened is after first year, I was inducted as a web developer. And after that, the experience that I've had is actually, just an upward journey. And I've always been learning something new or the other. There's never been a moment where I've not learned something, or when I've stagnated. There's someone or the other who's working on some project, and you see them and you're motivated to work more, or there's some senior who's like, why don't you try this out? So I've had that experience of being a junior in the club, and then later on as a senior also, we had this thing where we'd push each other to work more. And there are moments where I've pushed juniors such as Rishabh and all to try out something new, and they'll be there to vouch for that. And the best thing I'd say is the exposure you get in a club, beat any club. But the thing is, in Spider, the exposure I got was very diverse because I wasn't, though I was selected as a web developer, I had friends who were in app dev and algos and intronics and all that sort of stuff. So I knew what people were working on. So there's always a sort of interest to know what other people are doing. And you had this thing where you'd ask them, okay, what are you working on? And they'd explain in brief that, what they're working on. And then if you liked it, you'd probably do a bit of research on your own. So that is the exposure that you get. And what happens is you see other people going for a hackathon and you're like, okay, you know what, let's also go. So the first hackathon I'd say was like completely random. I never even knew that hackathon existed. One of my friends is like, are you coming? And he's like, we need to find one more person. We just put it up in the group that is anyone available in Bangalore in the next week. We're going to Bangalore for a hackathon. And within 30 minutes, we had a team of 3 and we were booking tickets for Bangalore. And that was like one of the first hackathons I had and the best experiences I had. And later on, we did go on to win it. So that is like another bonus. And after that, another thing that I really enjoyed being part of this club was that the knowledge sharing sessions as well as the articles that we wrote. So we had this thing of publishing an article every week, which was related to development, like software in general. And people started contributing on a regular basis. And just by reading those articles every week, I'd say the knowledge base that you gain was immense. And I learned about a lot of new technologies and a lot of new stuff that I never knew was that existed, or that I would have actually done on my own. So another reason to be a part of this club is that you have people who are like-minded, who want to grow, who want to learn new stuff, and as a result you just end up learning something new, come across something new, and you never know when it might be useful. And apart from that, I just say you upskill yourself tremendously, and being a part of the club is the best way to gain skills and have a lot of fun at the same time. So yeah, that's it.
So moving ahead, now we have Harshavardhan, who is going to be our technical secretary for this academic year, and he is currently interning with Visa. Let's see what he has to share.
Hi guys, I'm Ashavan from Electronics and Communication Department. I'm the Technical Secretary for the academic year 2020 to 2020. I have been part of Spider for past 2 years and I have learned a lot of things throughout my journey. Being part of Spider gives you a lot of exposure to the new technologies and opportunity to work as a team. It aids you to work on some of the new innovative technologies which gives you wide range of exposure and experience. You'll get an amazing set of batchmates and seniors who will always be available to help you. I wish all the best for the induction process. Do your best. You will get to learn a lot of things throughout the induction process itself. Hoping to see you on the other end of it. Thank you.
Yeah, hello. So in the next sequence of the inviting the papers, we have Nitin Gupta. So Nitin Gupta is basically part of Spider algorithms. He is the currently the best coder among our college. So Nitin Gupta is master at Code Forces, is 6-star at Code Chef, and he was an unacademy tutor. He teaches there a lot of complex stuff related to competitive programming. He is currently doing an intern in Google. So would like to hear what he has to say. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Nitin Gupta, third year CSC. I'm part of Spider software domain. Earlier it was called as Spider Algos. I'm master on Code Forces and 6-star on CodeChef. I'm doing my intern at Google. During this journey of being in Spider Club, I and my teammates participated in many coding contests like ICPC, Kickstart, Hacker Cup. I learned a lot during my induction process at Spider. I would like to invite you all for the induction process at Spider.
Yeah. So sequence of our next speaker is Rishabh Nahar. He is also part of Spider algorithms. He was the one who got All India rank 4 and global rank 27 in the Google Kickstart. He is also Google intern. He is 6-star at CodeChef and he is also candidate master at Code.
Thanks, guys. This is Rishabh Nahar from Spider R&D Algos domain. I wanted to tell you how Spider R&D and its induction process helped me in getting where I am. So it was the induction process of Spider R&D when I actually started competitive programming because in order to get into algos domain, I needed to get good at data structures and algorithms. And starting so early actually helped me a lot because in the second year I was able to get to a stage where I was able to clear quite a few internship tests like Samsung Parichya test and other tests. And having a good start actually helped me to get other internships and other stuffs. And I was able to make great team members like Nitin Gupta and Nitin Mittal. We three took part in ICPC and we also qualified for the regionals. And there were also other contests like Hashcode where we three participated and we secured good ranks. And also being good at data structures and algorithm along with these members helped me to crack internship process. And I was able to secure an internship at Google India. And so I would like to ask you guys to concentrate and prepare your best for the internship process and give your best so that we can be the part of a same team. Thank you.
Moving ahead to a very important question. What do we expect from our inductees? The first thing is being curious. That is, having a desire to know, to understand the things around you, and having an intent to understand how they work. We expect perseverance from you. We want you guys to continue even after some early setbacks. The desire to not give up is one of the top qualities desired from a software developer. You must also be passionate about the field. You should be enthusiastic about learning new things and be open to coming out of your comfortable zone. The last, but not the least, is you're expected to be committed towards learning, to be open minded, and to be open towards expanding your horizons and go beyond what you earlier deemed impossible. I would request Manu to take over for the Spider hardware department.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Manu Shekhar from the Department of EC third year. I'm here to represent the Tronics domain of Spider. I know Tronics is short for electronics, but we do poke our noses in various subdomains. Uh, let's have a look at them. Yeah. So, signal processing and machine learning, robotics, embedded and electronics. All these three come under the subdomain. The upcoming slides are intended for to answer those questions. Let's have a brief info about each of the subdomains. SPML. So, what does SPML do? In SPML domain, novel algorithms and MLDL architectures are developed as a solution for the problem statements based on computer vision, natural language processing, and reinforcement learning. Moving on, we use we use tools like Google Colab, TensorFlow, and PyTorch to implement all these stuff in uh, Spider. So next is robotics domain, and the robotic domain focuses on design, simulation, and control blocks of a bot. Basically, novel designs, mechanisms, and control systems are ideated and fabricated by our robotics domain members, which will be further seeing in the projects discussed below. Now I call upon Arunesh to brief about the embedded and electronics part.
Uh, so embedded systems, electronics, and IoT is one of the core parts of the Tronics of Spider hardware. So, what is embedded systems? So, embedded systems is essentially a small system that is designed for a specific purpose. So, for example, we may have like anti-burglary systems whose specific purpose is just range finding and obstacle detection, and it's programmed just to do that. And if we see where this is applied, this can be applied for n number of things, right? So it can be applied for anything as simple as your washing machines and ovens, all the way up to like smart and self-driving cars. And Spider specializes in embedded systems, and we have participated in several hardware exhibitions where we have displayed this successfully. And the other kind of projects that we do is IoT. So in IoT, it's just Internet of Things. So essentially, we have n number of n system of embedded systems which will serve as, say, edge devices. And these will collect the necessary data, which will be processed by a larger network to perform some useful activity. So, again, in embedded systems as well as IoT, Spider specializes, and we use several of the latest boards that are needed for these domains. So, for example, we work with Atmel microprocessors, we work with ESP8266, we work with the Arduino boards. So, all these is what is in demand, and this is what is used in the industry today for the projects, for the industry projects. And then we have also like participated in several research conferences where we have innovative projects in the fields of embedded systems and Internet of Things. And how Internet of Things will really help you is that Internet of Things is actually the future. So when you talk about, say, smart cities, smart homes, smart automation, smart automobiles, all this is Internet of Things, because this involves a sensor network and some processing which is being performed. So going into the future, all around you, you can see IoT, and Spider from today has started working on that goal of building a smarter future, and that is what we do at Spider's embedded systems and IoT fields in the Spider hardware. Now, moving on, I'll call upon Manu to explain about the electronics and the VLSI domains.
Uh, well, we know you know about electronics, right? Without electronics, it's impossible to give life to schematic on which a chip is designed. Electronics is inevitable. So, electronics people deal with all the stuff which gives life to all the projects which we ideate and fabricate. So moving on, apart from electronics, there was a new addition of a subdomain, VLSI. So basically, VLSI was added to carry out projects regarding the same and to promote open source culture. Since most of the work done in VLSI are paid has patent rights and royalties weigh upon us as a huge barrier. So, and Spider is also working on making this knowledge known to all by pooling in everything which we learn into a single open source repository called Silicon Foundation, so that even a non Spider member can access everything. So yeah, now moving to a few of the eye-catching projects done in Spider. Uh, can you go to the next slide? Yeah. Yes. The first is bbots. Uh, have you ever wondered how ants always find their food or how birds and fish swarm? Basically, bbots is what bbots works on this concept. Bbots is a swarm robotics project that aims to explore swarm intelligence and coordination using biologically inspired algorithms. Uh, yeah. Moving to the next project, we have Homebrew Bionics, yes. Homebrew Bionics is a community that explores the possibilities of developing open source and affordable prosthetic devices which can be fabricated easily. Uh, we still have even our alumni working on this projects, and it has been a huge success. Now I again call upon Arunesh to carry on with the presentation for the next few projects.
So this project is called Crawlocator, and I was involved in the development of this project. So essentially, what happens here is that you have a six-legged robot, an hexapod which can be controlled from more than 10 miles away remotely, and this can go into any kind of terrain. It can go into a place flooded by tsunami. It can go into an earthquake zone. It can go into a fallen building. It can go into any kind of terrain, any kind of lighting, and identify humans and transmit their location back precisely. So if you think about it, we have spoken a lot about how we use like the latest technology and we integrated it. So to make this robot, we had to use embedded systems to actually code all the servos and joints. We had to use simulation to develop the algorithm that's going to control this robot. We had to like develop all the CAD models, etc. We needed machine learning in order to be able to recognize the humans. It involved app development in order to like for people to view the actual feed. So this is what I'm talking about when I say Spider works across all domains. You have just imagine the complexity, right? You're controlling a six-legged robot from 10 miles away, and you have like so many domains working together for it. These are the kind of projects which happen on and only in Spider, and this was quite successful. We even won Sangam in the year 2021 as a result of this project. And moving on to the next project, which is dark side. So again, this is like viewing in extreme low light. We'll try to detect objects in this kind of really dark condition. This uses computer vision and machine learning for the same, and we use an architecture known as UNET for this. Now think about this is again one of a very successful project which also won Sangam in the year 2021. And just again, think about the complexity of this project, right? You had embedded systems, which is actually making the product, and you have computer vision and machine learning who work on the algorithm which is going to be deployed on this. And also, another special thing about this project is that it participated in Act Zurich hackathon last year. And as you know, that's a very prestigious hackathon which is conducted by the University of Zurich, which is like a top research institute, in fact, one of the top 10 in the world for research and development. So this kind of project was a finalist in that event. So you can imagine how various domains, right? So you'll think ML is software and then embedded systems is hardware. But then we came together to make such a complicated product. Again, here I reiterate that Spider is the only club which is capable of delivering such kind of products. Moving on to the next slide. So now I'll talk about our achievements briefly. So this year alone, two of our teams from the hardware domain qualified for Smart India Hackathon's 2022 finals. So one of them was like a smart like anti-infiltration system, so no intruder can come into your secure place. And another was like a healthcare product, which is meant to improve the lifestyle of people working in offices. Again, cross-domain projects. And then we also won Sangam both in the year 2021 and 2022 in different categories. In 2020 we won healthcare, and then in 2021 we won in technology and defense. We're also the Ientra finalists. So Ientra is a national level robotics competition where the participation is in like thousands and there are like hundreds of teams participating every year in this robotics event. And in the year 2021 we were finalists, and before that we actually were third place in the previous year. We are also DRDO Dare to Dream 3.0 finalists. So this is an event conducted by DRDO to make systems which can be deployed in the defense sector of our country. So Spider actively works on such complicated problem statements, right? So it's something that, and it's also a service that we are doing to our country. And the next thing, and then we also won, we go for international events. So we won the first place in the Mediac Hackathon, which is conducted by University of Lodz, Poland, which is like a biotechnology hackathon. We also presented our papers in like the International Conference for Automation and Robotics and at the Computer Vision Image Processing Conference. Again, these are international conferences. Getting there is not easy. But due to Spider, our aim of innovation and our ability to integrate our domain successfully is key to being able to go and participate in such international events. And once again, Spider is unique because it's one of the few clubs who is actually capable of doing such kind of things. And also, we are the winners of Shastra Circuit Design Challenge conducted by IIT Madras, and we also won the first and second place in the event conducted by Shastra University Trichy. So again, so what does this show is that we essentially participate in like local events, national events, and international events, and our success across all these events is uniform, which means if Spider goes, Spider wins. Moving on to the next slide. I call upon Manu to speak. Yeah.
Yes. So guys, Spider, apart from helping you improve your technical skills, the projects which you do in Spider will help you build your resume. Well, what does resume do? You obviously know that, right? Well, it will assist you in securing jobs and interns in high-profile hardware companies like Micron, Qualcomm, Nvidia, Analog Devices, and Texas. These are the hardware giants currently, and each and every member who didn't opt for MS or PhD in Spider got interned or a job offer in either of the companies mentioned above. So, and also you'll also get a huge network connection with your skilled alumni set who are open to any questions or queries, whichever doubts you want to get clarified. They are open to any. They are open for anything. So that's the advantage Spider provides you guys in the an aspect of non-technical views. So yeah, going on to the next slide.
Yeah. Now I would like to call upon Gaurav Singh. He was our president last year, and he was a part of Spider hardware in the embedded systems, electronics, and IT domain. And we would like to hear a few words from him about how Spider helped him in his journey.
Hey everyone, glad to be back here, and I'm Gaurav Singh from EC department batch of 2022. So Spider has been an amazing journey for me. I could not imagine my college life and the learnings which I had without Spider. I mean, Spider is all about the people. I mean, the best part about Spider is its diverse nature. The moment I got into the club, I was inducted into the embedded and electronics domain. I only knew embedded C programming. I had no idea about something called VLSI. when I got into the club. But getting into the club, I saw seniors taking up a project in the VLSI domain, or even my other friends doing a project on machine learning or anything else for that matter. I also learned image processing through getting into the Eyantra robotics competition. So the best part is the people, and the people make you aware of the things going out there. So you can just go up to someone and talk to them, like what are they actually doing, and should you pursue this or should you not, is then left up to you. And it's so easy to get access to resources, get access to the right guidance. And for that matter, you can even get guidance about any non club things. It can be your academic journey, or you're facing any difficulties in your studies, etc. So it's a very collaborative uh, workspace, and the best part is the learning which you get, and the access to the resources and to the right opportunities at the right time is what is really important. And within Spider, since you have so many domains, you get to explore all the different possibilities out there and then choose for yourself what exactly is something which excites you. So for me, I discovered it later on that VLSI is something which really excites me. And then coming into the club, we got involved into a project which involved the RISC-V processor, and we worked on it along with our seniors. And it was my first exposure to hardware development, and it really helped me uh, understand what kind of work goes behind getting a product ready, getting a chip ready. And it is something which you don't get the practical exposure to that thing in your courses. You can only get that through working on a project like that. And clubs provide you with that access, because you have seniors who have already worked on something like that. You have alumni contacts who are already in the industry, so they guide you on what sort of projects to actually take up, which is going to help you in your industry experience later on. So, and it's not just the industry experience, you can even work on research projects. And as Arunesh mentioned, we have a lot of publications already in a lot of international conferences. So everything which you do in the club is not only targeted towards just research or just jobs. It is something which is a combined effort which is going into developing you. Don't think about jobs or don't think about MS. And something which helped me a lot, I never thought about what is the end goal of something. The end goal of everything is to be better, is to be better than what you were probably a month ago. And that is something which really drives someone within Spider, and there is always a constant push towards getting better. So Spider has been a really big motivator towards me. There are going to be ups and downs in your academic journey, but the seniors were really helpful for me, and I'm sure the current core is also going to be very helpful to all of you who get into the club. So yeah, then I got placed into Qualcomm in digital hardware domain. And thanks to the club, I had exposure to the right projects, the right knowledge, which was really useful for my preparations, which was useful for me even for my future plans, which I might have for hires, anything. The best part is getting access to the people. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And it's not just the work, we also have a lot of fun. We also have a lot of sessions where we just sit and talk about what's going on in everyone's lives, and that is a really good stress buster. And in the club, it's the easiest way to have people around who are going through the same things which you are going through. At times things get really hectic managing acads and your projects and stuff, but when you have people around going through the same things, going through the exact same pressure, and you get to share it with everyone, you get the right motivation to keep pushing, to never give up. And that is going to be very very important, especially in your second and the third year, because those are the most hectic times of college. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And yeah, over to you, Arunesh.
Yeah. Now we can move on to the next slide. So now we'll talk about the induction timeline. So by the end of this month, we'll be starting a program which is known as the summer orientation program. And the objective of this is that we'll introduce you to the basics of the technology that we use at Spider. So vast range of technology, and learning everything directly for inductions is going to be tough. Realizing this, we have this orientation program where we'll ensure that your fundamentals are strong. We'll be assigned mentors who will be accessible at all times. You can query them on any of the doubts that you have, and it will be clear. And post this will be roughly a 3 to 4 week program. And after this, the actual inductions will start. And in the induction phase, the tasks that we give, the tasks will be given and resources will be given. And each task will have like a specific set of goals which you are expected to achieve, and you'll be given the necessary resources which you need to be able to reach those goals. And you don't have to worry, even if your prerequisites, even if you don't have any prior knowledge, there's no prerequisites needed. You can come, you can use our resources, and you'll be able to achieve the goals of each and every task. And once that's done, we have the personal interview round, or PAs, in which we'll call all the people who have done who have performed well in the induction stage, and we'll ask them about the task they did, how they did it, what are the alternatives that can be used, how is what they did practical, and so on. So once this interview stage is done, then we have another round, which is going to be the final round, or we call it the final project, which is more like an hackathon style round. You'll be given a broad problem statement, and it's up to you to build the product. So we're not going to restrict you like in the induction stage, saying this task you should have these features. So we're not going to do that. We'll leave it up to you guys. It's up to you on what all features you want to add, what features you don't want. It's all on you. You build the product, you bring it to us, and we'll see based on that. And finally, once all this is done, then the results will be declared. And this will start by the third week of this month, third week of May. So roughly around the 21st of May, the orientation program starts, and then the results, and then the induction will start around like say the end of June. And by say second or third week of June, will be the induction process entirely complete, and we'll be having the results of and we'll be welcoming the new batch. So moving on. So now we're open to question and answers. So you guys can ask us anything that you have been wanting to ask us since the beginning of this session or even before. So we'll be releasing the portal in which you'll have to register in a couple of days. Along with that, we'll release the date for registration as well. So right now it's not open, but in a couple of days, the registration for inductions will open, and we'll duly notify you guys on the deadline. So you guys don't have to bother. There's plenty of time to register. But tentatively, the registrations will start in a couple of days. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there any prerequisite for induction? No, there's no prerequisite for induction. All the knowledge or all the technical stack that you'll be required to use in the induction will be taught to you in this summer orientation program that's conducted before the induction. So you don't have to come with anything. Just come with an open mind, and you'll be allocated mentors who will guide you through the entire orientation program. So they'll teach you about what tech stack you have to learn and from where you have to learn, and they will clear your doubts. So the orientation program should cover all the basics that we require for the induction, right? So there's nothing extra that you need to learn from your end before coming to the orientation program.
Yeah, it's up to you, Pratyush. You can try out all the three domains of Spider, whichever you like. But the thing is, you have to bear the responsibility of completing each and every task if you want to get inducted. And if you get inducted in all three domains, it would be up to you to choose whichever domain you want to join Spider. So yes, the answer is abrupt answer is yes, but it is upon you to complete all the tasks and whichever work which is assigned to you. But trust me, if you put in enough work and effort into what you're doing, it would be uh, I won't say it would be easy for you to do all three at the same time, but it would be a bit challenging, but it is possible. It isn't we can't say it isn't possible, but if you put in time and effort, it's definitely possible. So yes, the answer is you can apply for all three domains at the same time. You don't have to restrict yourself to a specific domain.
Tasks. So the tasks that are, it's not like once you're in the club, we don't give tasks as such. So usually we'll ideate, like in the beginning, we ideate on projects. So we form like small groups, like interest groups amongst ourselves, and then we ideate on projects with like specific goals. And that's like a very democratic process. It's not like the seniors will dictate on like what work you should do. It's very democratic. You can come, you can choose your interest field, ideate on what you want to do in the beginning of the semester, and then you'll be a part of the team, and you'll be working on that product. And uh, and during, as such, there is no work during the fest. Like the products we build are built before the fest, for the fest. So like for example, if you have sports suite app, it's built before sports suite, and it's deployed during sports suite. So it's not like you have to, and then but then if you take the hardware profile during like Pragyan, we take part in hardware exhibitions where in Sangam, which is the hardware exhibition, where we'll display our product. Likewise, software people will go for the Pragyan hackathon, and they'll display their software products, if any. But yeah, as such, we don't force people and we don't allow them something to do. It's a democratic process where everyone ideates and reaches a common and decides like what they want to do. Yeah. So hardware and software domains will work together, which is what I explained, right? So if you take the robot we made over there, machine learning is software, right? And and then again, many of the times the feed that we relay from our IoT projects is processed on a mobile application and displayed to people on a mobile application. So a lot of the times, not just sometimes, a lot of the times, we have hardware and software domains working together.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the strengths of Spider. Like Spider being such a diverse club, it gives you access to both the hardware as well as software projects, right? So it gives you a freedom to work a project which expands to the whole horizon of domains, right? So that's what was conveyed to you in the session as well. So yep, as Rene summed it up, like more often than not, we work together in projects, right? So I think that answers your question, right?
So like, without taking, see, let's talk about why Spider is unique rather than comparing with, say, any other club, right? So Spider is unique because, as I mentioned in the beginning, see, we work on all the emerging fields, right? So you name it. You say IoT, we work in IoT. You talk about machine learning, we work in machine learning. You talk about blockchain, we have blockchain. Talk about AR VR, we are in AR VR. Metaverse, yes, we are exploring that field as well. So you name it, you name any field, and you say that in the next 20 years or the next 10 years or next 5 years, this is the field that's going to transform our future, and Spider is there in it. So that is why Spider is very unique. And again, if you look at Spider, see, we can again integrate more than one of these emerging fields, right? So we have robotics projects and IoT projects. which have a fair which implement which have ML parts to it. So we have a combination of all these emerging fields as well to make a complete product. And so we are very unique because we are one of the few clubs who can actually integrate all these emerging fields and work on it. It's not that we're working on just one emerging field or two emerging fields. We work on all emerging fields, and we make products which involve and which mix all these emerging fields. So our products are very, very unique in that sense, and the exposure that we give to our people is incomparable because of the nature of the projects, because of the kind of fields that these projects work in. So for that kind of exposure, those kind of projects, that is why Spider is unique in our college.
Yep. And if you talk about the software domain specifically, then unlike other clubs, apart for only working on legacy projects or handling the projects which are already done, we also take up new projects. We work with startups. We collab with leading innovative technology giants, and also with other clubs of other colleges. So, and we also develop technologies which are going to be used in next couple of years, rather than only focusing on technology which we have today, right? So that's something which sets us apart from all the other clubs which are there uh, on the campus. And apart from that, yeah, as Arunesh told, the amount of exposure and the degree of freedom that you get in Spider is also unmatched. You have people coming from all across the domains. If you are interested, if your project, let's say you are doing a computing project which requires a higher level of hardware efficiency or higher level of hardware support, then you can always turn up through our embedded guys, VLSI guys, to get more help about that, right? So it gives you a wider range of freedom. It gives more control over the project as compared to another club. So I think we have answered your question. Does the algos domain of Spider have good competitive coders?
Yeah, so I would like to take that question. So yeah, if you know about the competitive programming, just go and the search the names on basically Code Forces or CodeChef or Red Coder or Lead Coder, Top Coder, or any website you just see. Just go and search the names, like who are the best coders among the NIT. We are not telling that we are the best in India or we are the best in somewhere, but yeah, we are best in even in NIT Trichy. Basically, you go and search the names of Gupta underscore Nitin, you search Rishabh underscore Nahar, you search Satya Coder, you search Saubhagya underscore SD. So you search the Ritik underscore Mittal. So we are the basically we all are the member of Spider Algos, and we are like we have the highest rating in our college basically till now. Nitin achieved his master on Code Forces. That's the achievement. Like it's like in our college there are only 2 or 3 masters till now. Like till history of our college there are only 2 or 3 masters there, and one of them is Nitin. And you achieved the highest rating in the history of our college. 4 or 5 of like me, Ritik, Satyarth, Rishabh, and Nitin. We are 6-star on Code Chef. So 6-star is also like it's kind of a big achievement in competitive programming. So if you know about the competitive programming, and yeah, if you have heard, then you might hear this name like Nitin Gupta and Rishabh Nahar specifically. So yeah, just go and check the results where you used to do competitive programming. Just explore the Code Forces. You can open the NIT Trichy. There are rankings based on the college too. So you can open that NIT Trichy who is doing good in NIT Trichy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all.
and the quality of coders is not only felt by the coding community. It's also eagerly sought out by many MNCs as well. So if you see, Saubhagya is working with Tisha, which is the top company that comes to our campus. Satyat is with Microsoft, and like if you just see the effect that we bring to our software domain, that will answer your question, right? This uh, just go ahead and see what we do, right? So that would answer your question. Can we work on cross-domain stuff in which web dev is necessary? Yes, of course, you're open to all such activities. In fact, we encourage you to move across domains. We also encourage you to take up projects which are not in your comfortable zone, so that you get to learn new things, you get to interact with new people, and then it gives your both your resume as well as your knowledge thinking capacity also increase when you know do projects which are multi-domain, right? Is domain change possible? Was okay. So once you get inducted, there's no actual domain that is imposed on you. You're free to roam around the entire Spider club in general. So I think I would like Manu add to this. Like in fact, we regularly have
Yes,
people
yes.
who shift from software to
So
hardware, hardware to software, right? So there's no barrier in between that you have to overcome. All it takes is just a simple message, like I
I
want to
just
do
want
this.
to make one thing.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to make one thing clear, guys. So basically, once you're inducted, in your first year, what we seniors will be doing is we'll be guiding you in the right path. Will support you to make the right choices in whichever domain which you're interested in whichever domain you're interested in. That's the main point. So what I'm trying to say here is, once you get into Spider, there is nothing imposed on you that you should work in this project or in this specific domain. It's nothing like that. Uh, so many of my seniors who got inducted through Algos switched to Tronics. They took up IoT projects, embedded projects, and ML projects. So there's nothing imposed on you guys, and you can also stay in web dev and still work in a project which requires Tronics also. Like as previously said by our heads, there will be interdisciplinary projects too. So that it is up to you totally. You have to make the choices. Yeah, we'll just, as seniors, we'll just guide you to take the right choices and help you groom yourself to a better state. That's it.
Yeah, and another example is personally myself. Like I work in like embedded systems and IoT domain, and one of my projects require the use of cloud computing, which ideally, if you look under like the strict paradigms of domains, would ideally fall under say DevOps or would fall under web dev. But then for that project, the cloud computing aspect was taken care of me by myself, despite being in the hardware domain. And there was no restriction on it, right? So once that was once it's not like they told me not to do cloud computing because I was in the hardware side of the thing. There's no such thing. Come into the cloud, you can do anything you want as per the requirement of the project, as per what you want, what's your interest, and there will be no restrictions.
Yeah, so Akash, there are currently there are around completed and ongoing projects in SPML, like kin verification, COVID traction, and all kinds of the completed projects we have already updated in our Spider website. Maybe you can go about the website and check it for yourself. But there are around currently 5 projects for the semester which completed right now, and 2 are to be published. Maybe I can just give you the titles of the project. Apart from that, I guess you can look up the site which you for further info regarding the projects.
Yeah. And broadly speaking, if you look at our ML projects, we work on all the major categories of AML. So whether it's NLP, it's natural language processing, whether it is NLP, computer vision, image processing, whatever you like, name it. Then there are projects which fall under that particular umbrella. So so when you join us in the SPML, you'll be able to explore the full variety of options that you have in the domain. So. So the induction process. So if you start from the summer orientation program, all the way up to the end of inductions, the whole process is expected to take somewhere between 6 to 7 weeks, and we highly recommend that you guys take part in SOP as well, because that is where we lay the strong foundation for everything that's going to come in the future. It's not just that we're laying the foundations for inductions. that is also the foundation for what you'll do once you're inside the club. And even in the case, so we highly recommend that you join SOP, and then excluding SOP, the induction process will roughly be for 3 weeks to 4 weeks, and if you include the SOP, it will roughly be for say 6 to 7 weeks. So this is the duration of the induction process, and we highly recommend that you join the SOP because that is where you can set your basics really strong for the upcoming years. Yeah,
Yep.
so taking that question, we also collaborate. See, we have resources within campus, our own resources. In addition to it, we also collaborate with like outside companies. So, for example, recently we tied up with a German company who provides us with the GPUs that is needed in order for our machine learning requirements. So we have our own resources both within campus as well as we tie up with companies abroad. I mean, with companies both abroad and within India who can provide us the latest resources. So there is no shortage of resources that you'll have access to, or the kind of projects you do will not be limited because of a shortage of resources. We have ample of resources to be able to execute any kind of project. I think Ankur would like to add something on it.
Yep. Coming to the cloud computing part, yeah, for GPUs we have Genesis Cloud Genesis for it, and who provide us GPUs for that. So I think that would be more than sufficient for all your needs. And I think, yeah, as Arun is from develop, we also have tie-ups. If something really extra, something is required, we do go to specific company and then interact with them about the requirements of the GPUs. Okay, I think we have answered your question. How many people do you induct in each domain? Uh, there is no hard cap for it. It depends. All we seek in an inductee is how well or how dedicated he is towards his goal, towards his project, towards his you know his interest. If if his views or if his dedication aligns with ours, then he's inducted, right? So there is no hard cap that we have. All we want is you to be curious, to be dedicated, and to be open-minded towards all the learning process that you will encounter once you get inducted to the club, right? And I don't think, yeah, anyone has to add anything about on this. So I think we answered this question, right? So I think we'll take one last question and then we can close it up. Vasu, can you take this up? On what factors will that induction be evaluated and based upon?
Okay, yeah. So mainly so we'll give you tasks basically during the induction process. So it depends upon how early, like if you can complete the task in the given deadline, and the quality of the task, if you're able to like complete all the features that we request you to do to do in the task. And apart from that, also the quality of the work, that also matters a bit. And ultimately it depends upon the knowledge that you have gained, which you so it depends upon the domain that you're applying for, but you might be having to do your own project, and you'll have to show what you've learned through the whole induction process. So so yeah, like that's one thing. So how much you learn, so we'll be checking all that. And yeah, these are the main things that we'll be considering for induction. Basically your willingness to learn and add new features, and like to what extent you can go like to what extent you can, like, you're willing to learn a particular no, like new aspect of the project. Yeah.
I think Harish, we can wind up here, right?
Yeah, so
Is
this
it?
is the so yeah, so this will be the final question that we're answering for today evening. So the idea is that, so again, if you get if someone gets selected for SPML division, but after some time he feels to change to E, and even if that change, will they be able to gain all the knowledge to the induction process, right?
Well,
So
if
yeah,
if he wants to change, then that means he will, he'll be open to getting knowledge, right? Like only if you gain knowledge, that's when you can do other projects of other domains, right? And this is what is, coming out of your uh, shell, coming out of your secure zone, right? So yeah, this is expected from you if you want to, push yourself beyond your limits.
And then also, it's not like once you, let's say that you are in SPML and then now you're trying to do something in Triple E, it's not like we'll just, like, let you on yourself. Like, it's not like that. So you'll have seniors who you will constantly be in touch with in order to like access resources, ask them how to like how they progress in the domain. So you there's ample of resources within the club which will upskill you in order to like be able to gain sufficient knowledge in any domain that you want to be. So every summer, Spider people, we try to upskill ourselves. Every break that we get, we try to upskill ourselves. We do that in collaboration with our seniors, right, and our mentors, and then using that we are able to gain sufficient knowledge. So it's not like if you try to switch domain and then you won't have any knowledge, and then there's going to be no way for you to gain that knowledge. There's ample of resources and ample of time, ample of opportunity within the club for you to gain any knowledge that you might have left on your you might have not gained during your induction process.
Yep. So I think we can wind up after this question, right? So we hope you guys to see uh, you in the induction and the orientation program. We hope you guys get to know your domains that you're interested in pretty well in the orientation program, and hoping to see some bright minds inducted to the club. So I think, does anyone has to add anything?
We'd also like to
Yeah.
thank everyone for the
Yeah.
interest and enthusiasm that you guys showed today in asking questions, staying for a 1.5 hour long session. We're really grateful to each and every one of you for giving us this opportunity to explain what our club does.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. So
Yeah, all the best, guys.
all the best.
Let's have a good induction.
Yeah, all the best. You are all invited to take part in
All
SOP
the
and
best, guys.
induction process.
Good luck, everybody.
Yes.
All the best, guys.
See you guys. Hope to see you guys in inductions.